couple years ago. So definitely isn't like brand new. I appreciate Moses for hyping it up. But so I have this poem that to this day probably is my most important poem that I've ever written. It's called Cupcakes Are Better Than Brownies. Cupcakes are just plain better than brownies. Something I told my first crush when I was 7. Her name was Shannon. It was after book study. Her mom brought chicken. My mom brought chicken salad. They were sisters with an A, and that made us best friends somehow. She sat next to me after we made haste of our dinner plates, and I'm not ashamed to say I threw out my Brussels sprouts. I mean, who brings Brussels sprouts? Veggies are the worst when you're 7. They're even worse when you're locked in a fantasy of a long-awaited promised land of colorful delights. Things catch your eyes when you're 7, especially when you suffer through the plain brown gloss of roasted turkey. I mean, sure, it's delicious, but there's no showmanship there. After dinner, we ran over to the dessert table with the urgency of 2 kids running to a dessert table. That didn't need a metaphor at all. I reached eagerly for a cupcake. Beautiful balance between baked bounty, handheld size of an all-time favorite frosting that was blue and tasted like fingers made of sugar and vanilla, which is exactly what it became. Cake, which is awesome. Sprinkles, that just makes you feel all good in your body. Like decoration in your ribs. Like, I felt like an outlet mall on Black Friday, or African American Friday, half off wings Friday. Cupcakes are like chicken, but attractive in a dessert kind of way. She reached for a brownie. And on that day, I learned you can tell a lot about a woman by her dessert choices. Found out that I love harder than room temperature fruitcake. Love doesn't mean agreeing on the things that matter. It means knowing what tastes better when the answer is obvious. Poor dessert decision making always awakens me to the person you really are. You was hiding who you really are. You lover of plain, non-orthodox, geometric things, eater of chocolate, square dessert pan, looking like anything less than important than everything else might as well be a soft candy bar, looking like broken black top so hard you could play hopscotch on. That's a bad habit. Coming out the oven all bubbly and black like the back of a brown bear's neck with no fur. Choco prison. You got bad taste, Shannon. You need to get out of my face, Shannon. You betrayed the way, Shannon. Picking up brownies, the lure of the devil. Ain't that like some sunflower seeds? You messing with the bird catcher. You made a powerful enemy today, Shannon. Shan, Nannin, Neon. Never come at me with that reckless behavior. Gnawing on second-rate tray options. I knocked your plate down. Proclaimed victory for Team Cupcake. Go Cupcakes, Team Cupcake Squad. Hashtag dessert killers, frosting thugs. Yum yum for the tum-tum, we out here. Afterwards, my mom, she was like, yo, Matthias, there we go. There it is, right there. All right then. I'm actually joking. She whooped me in the middle of the whole room. She gave me 3 more whoopings before I got home, and then she grounded me. She said, why did you do it? I said, because cupcakes are just better than brownies.